What's up gamers, DreamcastGuy here, reviewing today ARMS. Lately it seems like Nintendo is really trying to dig deep to come up with some new ideas to go along with their classic franchises like Mario and Super Smash Bros. While Bayonetta 2 and Splatoon are fantastic, some of the things they've come up with are a bit more strange, like ARMS. This looks like it's just going to be a surreal boxing game to play with your friends, but actually it has other game modes mixed in that makes this feel like it's supposed to be a new Wii Sports, and I'm not sure that's quite a good thing. From match to match, we're thrown into random competitions like volleyball, where every time you spike it and touches the ground on the enemy's side, the ball explodes. Basketball, where you're actually slam dunking your opponent through a goal, or target practice, where you're actually punching different targets to earn points. Each of these is pretty basic on their own, but they're made more interesting by the unique control style. ARMS has two different ways you can play it. You can actually use motion controls or the normal controller. And I do want to say, the motion controls are better than I expected, considerably so. Now hold on a second, I know most of us hate motion controls. The idea of wiggling your arms around just to try and do something simple in a game can be very aggravating. But here, it's done in a very sharp style that surprised me. One of the biggest strategic elements in ARMS is that our springy characters have limbs that can extend all the way across the map, and as they travel we can steer them. When you're using a controller, you use the right stick to direct how you want this hit to move in midair, whereas with motion controls you can just tilt the Joy-Con. In fact, all movement is done with subtle tilts of these Wiimote style devices, and it feels great. When I was going against a player who loved to jump and dash around in the air, it was really awesome to be able to throw a punch and curve it at the last second to uppercut him when he least expected it. How you hit people also comes down to what gloves you have equipped though. Okay, so each of the different items you put on actually have different ways of hitting. So there's some gloves that'll split into 3 tiny prongs that hit people from opposite directions. You can make one of your arms a laser cannon that has basically infinite range in case they're trying to keep you really far back. You can also do stuff like put on a defensive item. This is like a shield, and you can actually block their hits in midair. Yes, that's right, you can punch a punch out of the sky. It's pretty cool, but I gotta be honest with you, very quickly they all started to feel a little bit boring. All of this is just kind of a hodgepodge of random ideas. There's no real rhyme or reason, and that kind of annoyed me after a bit. Having all these different pieces of combat was fun, but at the same time, there's no sense of progression. Now, if you're playing something like Pikmin, as you get to later levels, you're unlocking new units for your army. You feel like you're getting stronger and can take on stronger foes. If you're playing something like Mario, you're getting new power-ups as you get to later levels. There's a sense that you as a player are growing and changing. But in ARMS, it just feels the same, all the time. From the moment I started playing to the moment I stopped playing, I don't feel like I actually learned anything. I didn't really get better at the game so much as I actually understood the basic mechanics better, and that doesn't seem like much of an achievement. Unfortunately, this is one of those games where someone who's the absolute master of it plays a lot like the person who just picked it up for the first time. There's no real differentiation as you get better and improve, and that really kind of hurts the experience. I wish that there was an extra fighter, an extra boss, or an extra mode that was unlocked as you got further into the experience. Something that would make me as a player feel like I was getting somewhere other than just going into the same 5 maps and beating up the same couple fighters. On the bright side though, ARMS really does remind me of the best parts of Wii Sports. Remember when you'd drag over friends for the first time and you'd put a Wiimote in their hands? You'd make them do bowling and they'd be confused. Make them do baseball and they don't know how the controls work. This is when ARMS shines the brightest. When I made my friends use motion controls and they weren't used to it. Watching them try and figure it out. Learning how everything worked and losing a bunch of matches, but eventually managing to spike that ball and win a decisive victory in volleyball. It was awesome. That is when ARMS was a blast. But once my friends went home, the enjoyment basically went with it. ARMS has a lot of problems, but at its core, it has some great ideas. I just wish it had more of that Nintendo charm that I was really hoping for. Okay, so we've heard some good and some bad, but let's over to the ratings board and put a big number on it. I am giving ARMS a 7 out of 10. If you're really hurting for something new to play on your Nintendo Switch, this might be for you. But even then, I really think that this is best because of its multiplayer aspect. If you have friends who have the Nintendo Switch, and you've really been wanting to play something new and different with them, this is definitely for you. However, if you're just a Nintendo fan and you're wanting that next great experience, hold off another month and wait for Splatoon 2. Thanks so much for watching, gamers. This has been DreamcastGuy with another review. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, share with your friends, and subscribe if you haven't already. But do me the biggest favor of all and keep dreaming. Man, I hope this video doesn't just get downvote bombed by the Nintendo fanboys. I'm just being honest here. I'm sorry. I want this game to be better. I played like 40 hours. I'm sorry. But thanks for watching. Oh, hey. I was just playing a little bit of Grand Theft Auto on my Darth Vader PSP. Are you curious what I'm going to come out with next? Well, if you click this button, you'll be subscribed to be the first to know. Also, if you click over here and here, you can see my latest review and my latest top 10. I promise, it was super good. Or it was really bad and I'm sure you can just make fun of me in the comments. Either way, it'll be a lot of fun. Thanks so much for watching.